clearly we're in the stage where they fight you. But you know what? What the stage is after that, then you win. All right. Hello, welcome to the weekly orbit, the week ending the 9th of June, 2023. My name is Pat. My normal co-host, Whack, is on special assignment this week, so it's just me winging it. And today we're going to bring you some of the big headlines for Rocket Pool this week. There's so many. We try to narrow it down to the top ones, but we could spend a whole hour talking about everything. But we're going to squeeze it into 30 minutes or less for you. So on that note, let's get right into the stats for the week. Well, actually, I'm recording this on the 10th of June, and the last 24 hours you've seen a bit of a sell-off for some of the crypto in general, but particularly the small cap coins. Ethereum is down 5.7% over the last 24 hours. Bitcoin down 3.1%. But the reason I'm showing you this on CoinGecko is if we scroll down, we'll notice that Rocket Pool is now at 45. It's the 45th largest coin, and right behind it is rETH at 46. So this has been moving up the ladder pretty quick. It wasn't long ago where it was 60, 70, or 80th largest coin. And, it's moved up significantly recently, maybe not because of price appreciation, but because everything else has gone down around it. We'll see Rocket Pool has surpassed some notable things like Optimism, Tezos, Phantom, Decentraland. So it's showing strength, especially in this market. Now it's down 8.1% over the last 24 hours. Part of this is from probably because of the lawsuit that the SEC has put against Coinbase and Binance this week. Initially, it reduced the price a little bit on ETH for the first few hours after the announcement, but then ETH just bounced right back up into the 1800s where it's been crabbing for a while. Over the last 24 hours, obviously, it's down a little bit, down to, right now it's at 1736. But, given everything, I think the market's showing strength. I just keep going back to this, this famous quote. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they attack you, then you win. And we are firmly in the stage of then they attack you or they fight you stage of crypto. Now, if we go back through the history, first few years of Bitcoin, starting in 2008, no one paid attention. They just ignored crypto. And then the few years after that, they laughed. Oh, Bitcoin, what the hell is that? What's backing it? That's stupid. But now crypto's grown so large that the incumbents are kind of fighting back, and we're clearly in that stage. But I was listening to David Hoffman during the weekly roll-up on Bankless, and I think he made a good point in saying that it's actually a good sign that now the SEC is just blatantly stated its purpose. Gary Gensler is on the Squawk Box essentially saying, we don't need crypto. We've got the digital dollar. We do things on our phone now. It is all digital. So he's now saying out loud what a lot of us were thinking he was up to. And he essentially wants to get rid of crypto in the United States. So I think the certainty of that is a good sign. There's no more guessing. Coinbase is going to get its day in court. It's well-funded legal team. We can have a whole discussion about the SEC, which I'm not going to get into, but clearly we're in the stage where they fight you. But what the stage is after that, then you win. All right. So I feel good about crypto in general, in particular Rocket Pool and staking on Ethereum. Anyways, let's get into the stats for the week. As we said, Rocket Pool, the ratio is down a little bit, 0.0257. I believe last week we were at 0.026, so down a little bit against ETH. If we go to the deposit pool, it's been the deposits keep coming in. One thing that was different this week, as the week went on, we actually had a situation where the queue for new mini pools was I think close to 0. Right now the queue is at 31. So if you are if you've got some 16 ETH mini pools and you're thinking about converting to LEB8s, now may be a good time. Although on the Beacon chain end of it, I think I checked it this morning, it's like 47 days. So you got that queue to go through. But for Rocket Pool, the queue is almost nil. And if we look at deposits for the week, daily deposits, so we start last week, I think it was the 2nd. All week, it looks like we've been hitting 4 digits. June 5th was a real banger, 22,000 ETH. We've had a few days of 3-digit deposits. June 8th was a good deposit day of 5,636. So they keep rolling in. Deposit, as all these DeFi integrations continue to go in the right direction, and rETH is being utilized more and more. Looks like more people are minting rETH for use in DeFi. Okay. On to the next thing, on DeFi Llama, let's take a look where rETH is compared to other liquid staking tokens. And the graph here, if we go back to, I want to go right to April, let's say April 18th, a few months ago, the Lido had a 74.3% market share of liquid staking. Right now, Lido is at 74.17, so essentially flat. Now, if we do the same numbers on Rocket Pool was at 5.8% market share before Chapella. And now Rocket Pool is at 7.86. So we've seen Rocket Pool growing, Lido kind of staying flat, and Lido, the DeFi Llama chart here shows some of the percentages. So Lido in the last 30 days has grown by 11% in its amount of staked ETH, whereas Rocket Pool is up almost 26%. So that's great. Rocket Pool is showing strength. Overall, we need to see Lido's market share go down a little bit. I think I share the belief that it's healthy for Ethereum to have a more diverse staking environment. It just seems that with crypto, when there's risks, more times than not, those risks manifest itself and actually happen. And it would be a pretty terrible event if there was a major bug in Lido, and it would have repercussions throughout the Ethereum ecosystem. So hopefully this market share will go down. Lido is sticky though. Liquid staking, I think, is a lot more difficult to diversify than, say, clients running on your node. But we've talked about before, and we'll continue to monitor this. All right, some news. The word out of Index Co-op is that they are working on and have passed an rETH leverage token. It's going to be called icrETH or icrETH. So what this is very similar. They have a product that they've had out for about a year now, which is it's icrETH, which is it's a liquid token that uses Aave to leverage Lido and an stETH product. And in prior episodes, we've talked about eMode On Aave, it's version 3. The icrETH product that Index has had is on version 2. This icrETH would be on version 3. And that would, what it basically does is it uses that folding, it automates the process of leveraging the rETH. So instead of having to go to Aave and doing it all yourself, Index Co-op writes a smart contract that will automate that for you. They would take a 0.75% streaming fee to pay for that convenience. One thing here is on CoinGecko, the icrETH. It's got about $20 or $21 million market cap. So over last year, it's grown 20 million. I would, rETH, that would be a nice boost to Rocket Pool. They have this type of product for those who want to, take a little more risk and leverage their rETH through a automated tool. This is going to be I think a nice product and will help grow rETH and Rocket Pool in general. Okay, quick blurb. Right around last week at our recording time, the news came out that rETH was going to be live on zkSync Era. zkSync, as we know, is a zk rollup that's run on Ethereum. And that's great because it's getting a lot of attention. I think a lot of folks are trying to farm zkSync for a potential airdrop, but they've seen a huge increase in total value locked there on zkSync. So Rocket Pool rETH is on there if you guys want to buy it. The advantages of using zkSync Era would be the cheap transaction fees. It is a pretty new product, or zkSync Era is a pretty new platform, or L2, so just be careful. Okay, there might be still some bugs to iron out. Don't risk more than you can afford to lose. Okay, on to our next one. Aragon is they run a platform for DAOs. I'm not going to get into the weeds about exactly what they do, but one of their main clients is LIDONT, and they've been debating diversifying their portfolio, their portfolio of their treasury, and there's a proposal to have rETH as part of that treasury. There's a link here. I want to scroll through a couple of the comments. Dr. Doofus, who's a community member from Rocket Pool, he states, liquid staking is a good idea. However, going all in on LIDO's stETH flies in the face of Ethereum's and Aragon's goals of supporting decentralization. LIDO is poised to take 33% of all validators soon. Any movement of funds to liquidate staking, to liquid staking should be made to a diversified portfolio of liquid staking tokens. And so they've got a ton of ETH here in the tens of thousands. So we will be monitoring this. This is kind of a part of a general effort to get treasuries who are sitting on a ton of ETH and who are considering liquid staking tokens to have rETH as part of that portfolio. And it makes sense, for risk of the portfolio, especially a large DAO that's sitting on a ton of tokens, that you'd want to make sure you diversify across several providers and not just put everything in, say, stETH, for example. So we'll be monitoring this, and I expect that more DAOs are going to have similar proposals coming in the months ahead, and that'd be a great thing for Rocket Pool. Okay, on to our next item. So Jasper, he tweeted here, unbelievably good news. I'll put a thread together in the future, but getting the beacon chain root accessible will de-risk all LSTs and enable Rocket Pool to greatly expand the design space. Forced exits, anyone? So he's referring to EIP 4788, was just greenlit for Cancun. All right, Cancun, or Dancun as it's been called, is the next major Ethereum upgrade. Most of the talk about that upgrade is going to be on 4844, which is creating a separate fee market for L2s. However, there's other EIPs I'll slip in to that upgrade, and it looks like this is one of them. So what does that mean, EIP? Well, Stokes here says in his tweet, or their tweet, this EIP supports better designs for staking pools, restaking, and bridges. It's exciting for deployment. So my rudimentary understanding is one thing that prevents the Rocket Pool LEBs from going any lower than LEB 8 is we need to have force exits of validators that are that need to be kicked off the system for different reasons, and this would enable that. All right. There's a lot of other technical things that I'm not versed with, but the EIP 4788, I guess, is a prerequisite to any LEB4s. It also would allow, I guess, it would help get rid of the, if Rocket Pool decides to do it, the ODAO. And we'll be talking about this more. We'll get some more technical aspects and discussion about the upside for 4788 in the days ahead. But this is great news. Okay, the next item is LIDONT. Now, some community members, I know WAC was one of them, working on this smart contract where it'd make it easy for someone to convert their stETH into rETH, or spin up Rocket Pool mini pools and earn LIDONT tokens in the process. So this is in its infancy, and this would allow it's the idea of how do we reduce Lido's market share and increase the health of the Ethereum staking network. And this is one project that some community members are working on. So we will keep an eye on this. It's great that folks are volunteering their time to write up smart contracts and promote things that will be good for Ethereum in the long run. Okay, and our final item for the week. WAC on Rocket Fuel, he has launched a new program he's calling Off Into DeFi. And this is kind of an educational series where he's going to explore some of the DeFi protocols that rETH is being integrated into. And this is great because it's not, I'm not a DeFi expert, and some folks might be a little intimidated about taking advantage of some of the opportunities that all these DeFi protocols are coming out with, integrations of rETH, and how can a normal user take advantage of. So keep an eye on that. He posted, WAC is posting it to his normal Rocket Fuel page. He's going to walk. His first episode was this week. He used Gravita as his focus. So it's great. More educational material. If you can't get enough of Rocket Pool, we've got there's another opportunity for you to listen in or watch more good content. So on that note, just a reminder, none of this was financial advice. It's just me talking crypto this week. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you all next week. See ya.